As you close your eyes and prepare to drift into the quiet sanctuary of sleep, imagine this: a divine power flowing through you, limitless and abundant. In the stillness of the night, there exists an opportunity to connect with the infinite source of wealth, a source that was never separate from you but always within. What if tonight is the night your spirit awakens to this truth? What if, as you surrender to rest, your soul begins to echo the profound affirmation, "I am rich"? Consider the idea that wealth is not something you chase, it is something you attract. The abundance you desire is not an external possession but an internal realization. As the stars illuminate the heavens above, so too does the divine light within you reveal the path to prosperity. The scriptures remind us that we were created in the image of God, the ultimate creator. If God is the source of all riches, then are you not also capable of manifesting abundance in your life? Reflect on this deeply. What if the only thing standing between you and infinite wealth is your own belief? Pause for a moment and think about the stories you've told yourself about money. Are they stories of lack, fear, or limitation? Or are they stories of faith, empowerment, and overflow? The power of your words and the energy of your thoughts shape your reality. When you declare, "I am rich," you align yourself with the truth of divine abundance. This is not a hollow mantra, it is a powerful affirmation of your identity as a co-creator with the divine. Close your eyes and imagine a life free of worry, where every need is met, every desire fulfilled. Picture yourself living in the home of your dreams, giving generously to those in need, and pursuing your passions without hesitation. Does this vision feel distant, or does it stir something deep within you, a whisper of possibility, a glimmer of faith? That feeling is your soul recognizing the truth. You were not created for scarcity but for abundance. The world may tell you that wealth is reserved for a select few, but divine truth reveals otherwise. God's blessings are not confined by human limitations. The same power that spoke the universe into existence resides within you. When you align your thoughts with the frequency of abundance, you unlock the doors to a life overflowing with blessings. But how do you begin this transformation? How do you shift from a mindset of lack to one of limitless wealth? The answer lies in surrender. Surrender to the divine plan for your life, trusting that abundance is your birthright. Surrender your fears, doubts, and worries and replace them with faith, gratitude, and unwavering belief. As you lay down tonight, let your heart swell with gratitude for the blessings already present in your life. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the treasure chest of divine riches. You might wonder, can it really be this simple? Can affirmations whispered in the quiet of night truly reshape my life? Yes, because faith makes all things possible. When you declare, "I am rich," you are not merely speaking words, you are planting seeds. And as you nurture these seeds with belief and gratitude, they will grow into a harvest of abundance. Imagine a stream flowing effortlessly, its waters clear and abundant, nourishing everything in its path. This stream represents the flow of divine riches available to you. But to receive from it, you must remove the barriers of doubt, fear, and limitation. Tonight, as you repeat these affirmations, you are dismantling those barriers. You are opening yourself to receive, not just in material wealth, but in peace, joy, and fulfillment. So I ask you, are you ready to transform your life? Are you ready to let go of old patterns and embrace the truth of divine abundance? As you journey into sleep, let the words "I am rich" resonate within you, not as a wish or a hope, but as a declaration of truth. Feel the power of these words vibrating in your spirit, aligning you with the infinite source of wealth. Let these affirmations guide your dreams, rewire your beliefs, and awaken you to the abundant life you were destined to live. Let tonight be the beginning of a new chapter, one where you step boldly into the riches that are already yours. Let your spirit declare, "I am rich, I am blessed, I am abundant." For as you believe, so shall it be. Your words are not merely sounds, they are living vibrations carrying the essence of creation itself. From the moment they leave your lips, they journey into the universe, shaping reality according to their meaning and intent. When you say "I am rich," you are not just uttering a statement, you are declaring a divine truth. Think of the Creator who spoke the universe into existence. He did not hesitate, nor did he doubt the power of his words. "Let there be light" was not a request, it was a command, and reality obeyed. Now reflect on your own words. Do they mirror the Creator's authority, or do they reflect fear and doubt? When you repeatedly say, I am rich, you are aligning your energy with the divine principle of abundance. Your affirmations are seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And just like any seed, they require nurturing. Every time you repeat this truth, every time you feel the power behind it, you water these seeds, ensuring they grow a harvest of wealth and prosperity. But this isn't merely about material riches, it's about the richness of your spirit. Abundance begins in the heart and flows outward. If your spirit is impoverished, filled with thoughts of lack, worry, and insecurity, no amount of money can bring you peace. However, when your spirit is rich, overflowing with faith, gratitude, and generosity, the external world mirrors this abundance. Your finances, relationships, and opportunities will naturally flourish. Have you ever wondered why certain words seem to stick with you? Why the words spoken in anger or love can linger in your mind for years? This is the power of the spoken word. It imprints itself on your subconscious, influencing your beliefs and ultimately your reality. When you declare, I am rich, you are reprogramming your mind to recognize and attract wealth. You are breaking free from the chains of negativity and self-doubt, replacing them with a divine affirmation of abundance. But what if you don't feel rich yet? What if your current circumstances scream the opposite? That's the beauty of faith. It sees beyond the present moment. When you speak wealth into existence, you are not bound by what your eyes see or your bank account shows. You are stepping into the realm of the unseen, where your words shape the future. The more you declare, I am rich, the more your mind begins to believe it, and the universe aligns to make it a reality. As you lay down tonight, let these words resonate within you. Whisper them softly, as if you are planting sacred seeds in the soil of your soul. Speak them boldly, as if the heavens themselves are listening. Feel the weight of each word, the power behind each syllable. Let your affirmations carry you into a restful sleep, where they will work tirelessly to reshape your thoughts, your emotions, and your reality. Remember, the spoken word is a divine gift, a tool of creation entrusted to you. Use it wisely. Speak life, speak abundance, speak wealth. For as you believe and declare, so shall it be. Close your eyes and imagine this: a life where all your needs are met effortlessly, where every corner of your existence is filled with peace, joy, and prosperity. Picture yourself waking up in the morning, not with dread or worry, but with excitement for the day ahead. See yourself walking confidently, knowing that the abundance you seek is already yours. Visualization is not just a mental exercise, it is a spiritual act, a way of aligning your inner world with the divine flow of wealth. What does your abundant life look like? Is it a beautiful home, a thriving business, or the freedom to pursue your passions? Allow yourself to dream without limitation. Often we restrict our dreams because of fear of disappointment, fear of failure, fear of unworthiness. But divine abundance knows no boundaries. The Creator did not place limits on His blessings. He made them infinite and accessible to all who believe. As you picture your life of wealth, focus on the emotions it brings. Feel the gratitude of living in abundance. Feel the joy of giving generously to others. Feel the peace of knowing that you are financially secure. These emotions are not just byproducts of your visualization, they are the fuel that makes it powerful. The more vividly you imagine your abundant life, the more your subconscious mind begins to accept it as reality. But visualization is not just about dreaming, it is about preparing. When you visualize wealth, you are telling your mind and spirit to get ready for it. You are creating mental pathways that make it easier to recognize and seize opportunities. You are training your mind to focus on abundance instead of lack. And as you focus on abundance, you attract more of it into your life. Have you ever noticed how your thoughts influence your actions? When you believe something is possible, you act differently, you take bolder steps, you pursue opportunities with confidence, you persevere through challenges. Visualization works in the same way. By seeing yourself as already rich, you begin to act as if you are. And this mindset creates a ripple effect that attracts real wealth into your life. As you drift into sleep tonight, take a moment to visualize your abundant life in vivid detail. Picture the wealth flowing into your hands, the joy on your face as you achieve your goals, the peace in your heart knowing that you are divinely supported. Let this image sink deeply into your subconscious, where it will work tirelessly to manifest in your reality. Dream boldly, for your vision is the blueprint of your future. See yourself as wealthy, as blessed, as abundant, and know that what you see within will soon become your reality. Let these images guide you into a restful sleep, where your dreams align with divine abundance and your spirit awakens to a new day filled with infinite possibilities. Gratitude is the divine amplifier of blessings. It takes what you have and multiplies it, shifting your focus from scarcity to abundance. When you express gratitude, you are not just acknowledging what is present in your life, you are aligning yourself with the flow of divine provision. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the treasure chest of life's riches, reminding you that you are already blessed beyond measure. Imagine standing in the middle of a vast field filled with golden wheat ready for harvest. Each stalk represents a blessing in your life. The air you breathe, the food on your table, the roof over your head, and the opportunities that come your way. Now picture yourself holding a basket. The more you give thanks for each stalk, the fuller your basket becomes. Gratitude opens your eyes to see blessings you may have overlooked, and it creates a ripple effect, inviting even more abundance into your life. Do you begin your day with a heart of gratitude, or do you let worry cloud your vision? What if every moment of gratitude is like a prayer? Whisper to the heavens, calling down even greater blessings. As you reflect on your day before falling asleep, focus not on what you lack but on what you already possess. Perhaps it's the love of a family member, the warmth of a cozy bed, or the strength to face another day. These are not small blessings, they are evidence of divine provision in your life. Gratitude also shifts your energy. When you give thanks, you elevate your spirit to a higher frequency, one that attracts more of the same positive energy. This is why it is said, "Give and it will be given to you." Gratitude is a form of giving. It is an offering of the heart, a way of honoring the Creator who has blessed you. When you approach life with gratitude, you step into a flow of abundance that cannot be stopped. Even in moments of difficulty, there is something to be thankful for. The challenges you face may feel overwhelming, but there are also opportunities for growth and transformation. When you give thanks for these moments, you are acknowledging that they are part of a greater plan, one designed to lead you to greater abundance. Gratitude, even in hardship, is a powerful act of faith. As you lay down tonight, take a moment to list the blessings in your life. Whisper them aloud or hold them in your heart. Feel the gratitude welling up within you, filling you with warmth and peace. Let this gratitude carry you into your dreams, where it will continue to work as a magnet for more blessings. Remember, the heart that is grateful is never empty. Your beliefs shape your reality. What you hold to be true about yourself, money, and abundance will determine what you attract into your life. Limiting beliefs act like chains, binding you to a life of lack and struggle. But the moment you recognize these beliefs for what they are, false narratives, you can break free and step into a life of abundance. Think about the stories you have been told about money. Perhaps you've heard phrases like "money doesn't grow on trees" or "rich people are greedy." These statements may seem harmless, but over time they embed themselves in your subconscious, creating mental blocks that hinder your ability to attract wealth. To change your reality, you must first change the stories you tell yourself. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe about money? Do I see it as a tool for good or as a source of trouble? Do I feel worthy of abundance or do I fear it? Identifying these beliefs is the first step toward releasing them. Once you bring them into the light of awareness, they lose their power over you. To replace these limiting beliefs, affirm truths that align with abundance. Say to yourself, "I am worthy of wealth. Money flows to me effortlessly. I am a steward of divine riches." These affirmations are not just words, they are declarations of a new reality. Speak them with conviction, allowing them to sink deeply into your subconscious mind. Letting go of limiting beliefs also requires forgiveness both of yourself and yours. Perhaps you have made financial mistakes or been hurt by others' greed. Holding on to guilt or resentment only reinforces the chains that bind you. Forgive yourself for past mistakes and let go of any anger toward others. This act of release clears the way for abundance to flow freely into your life. As you prepare for sleep, take a moment to reflect on the beliefs you hold about wealth. Visualize yourself cutting the chains of limitation, one by one, until you are free to soar. Replace each limiting thought with a positive affirmation, and feel the weight lift from your spirit. In this state of freedom, you are ready to receive the infinite abundance that is already yours. Release the old, embrace the new, and rest in the truth that you are divinely supported. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, let your dreams be filled with visions of freedom, abundance, and limitless possibility. For as you believe in your heart, so shall it be in your life. Trusting divine timing is one of the most powerful acts of faith. It requires you to relinquish control and surrender to the higher plan that governs all things. Often the human heart desires immediate results, and the mind races with worry when those results don't appear as quickly as expected. But what if the delay is part of the blessing itself? What if waiting is not a punishment but a preparation, aligning you with the perfect almond when abundance will flow effortlessly into your life? Consider this: everything in the universe operates in perfect harmony, guided by a divine intelligence that ensures the rising of the sun, the ebb and flow of the tides, and the changing of the seasons. This same intelligence is at work in your life, orchestrating every detail for your highest good. Yet in moments of impatience, it's easy to forget this truth and fall into the trap of doubt. You may ask, why hasn't my blessing arrived? Why is my breakthrough taking so long? These questions stem from fear that you are forgotten, that you are unworthy, or that time is running out. But fear is a liar. The divine never overlooks you, nor does it withhold blessings from those who are faithful. Think of a farmer planting seeds in a field. He does not stand over them, anxiously checking each day to see if they've sprouted. Instead, he trusts the process, knowing that the soil, sun, and rain will do their part in nurturing the seeds until they bloom. In the same way, your affirmations and efforts are seeds planted in the spiritual realm. They require time to grow, and this growth happens in the unseen, beneath the surface of your awareness. Just because you can't see the results right now doesn't mean they aren't unfolding. The harvest is coming, and when it does, it will be abundant beyond your imagination. Impatience, on the other hand, stems from a lack of trust. It is the voice of the ego, whispering that things should happen on your terms and within your timeline. But divine timing operates on a higher frequency, one that sees the bigger picture. Have you ever experienced moments when something you desperately wanted didn't happen, only to later realize that the delay was a blessing in disguise? Perhaps the timing wasn't right, or perhaps you weren't ready to handle the magnitude of what you were asking for. Trusting divine timing means having faith that every delay serves a purpose, and that nothing in your life happens by accident. This trust also requires patience with yourself. Sometimes the delays are not about the external world, but about your internal readiness. Are you prepared to receive the abundance you seek? Have you cultivated the mindset and habits necessary to sustain it? Imagine asking for financial freedom but not yet having the discipline to manage your resources wisely. The delay, in this case, is not denial, it is grace, giving you time to grow into the person who can fully embrace and steward the blessings you desire. As you reflect on your journey, consider how divine timing has already been at work in your life. Think about the opportunities that came when you least expected them, the connections that seemed like chance but were actually perfectly aligned, and the moments of struggle that later revealed themselves as stepping stones to success. Each of these instances is a testament to the fact that the universe is always conspiring for your good, even when it doesn't feel that way in the moment. Faith in divine timing transforms waiting from a burden into an act of worship. Instead of viewing delays as obstacles, you begin to see them as sacred pauses, moments designed to deepen your trust and strengthen your resolve. When you trust the divine plan, you free yourself from the weight of worry and open your heart to peace. You no longer need to strive or force things to happen, because you know that everything will unfold exactly as it should. As you prepare for sleep tonight, let go of the need to control the timing of your blessings. Whisper to yourself, I trust the divine plan. I trust that everything is happening for my highest good. I trust that abundance is on its way. Let these words sink deeply into your spirit, washing away any anxiety or doubt. Imagine yourself as a vessel, open and ready to receive, yet content to wait for the perfect moment when your blessings will overflow. Visualize your life as a beautifully written story, each chapter unfolding with purpose and precision. The delays are not blank pages, they are part of the plot, building suspense and leading to a climax that will take your breath away. Trust that the author of your story knows what he is doing and rest in the assurance. Trusting divine timing is not about passivity, it is about active faith. It is about continuing to affirm your truth, continuing to visualize your abundant life, and continuing to express gratitude even when the results are not yet visible. It is about maintaining a spirit of expectation, knowing that the universe is always working behind the scenes on your behalf. The seeds you've planted through your affirmations are growing, and soon they will break through the soil, bearing fruit that will nourish every aspect of your life. As you drift into sleep, let this trust carry you into your dreams. Picture the hands of the divine carefully crafting every detail of your life, ensuring that everything comes together at the perfect time. Know that you are loved, supported, and guided, and that your abundance is already written in the stars. Rest in this truth and awaken tomorrow with a heart full of faith and a spirit ready to receive. For as you trust in divine timing, so shall your life be filled with the riches you seek. The act of giving is one of the most profound ways to align yourself with the flow of abundance. When you give, you create a spiritual connection that mirrors the divine nature of generosity. The Creator gives endlessly the sun, the air, the rain, and life itself. To give is to reflect this divine attribute, and in doing so, you open the doors to receive blessings beyond measure. Consider the paradox of giving. When you give freely, you do not lose, instead you gain. Imagine a river flowing through a valley, its waters nourishing everything in its path. If the river were to hoard its flow, stagnation would set in, and life would wither. But as it gives, it replenishes itself, ensuring abundance for all. This is the principle of giving. What you release with a joyful heart returns to you multiplied, creating an endless cycle of prosperity. Some may fear giving, believing that it will deplete their resources. This mindset stems from a belief in scarcity, the idea that there is never enough. But abundance thrives on faith, not fear. When you give, you are not subtracting from your wealth. You are demonstrating trust in the infinite supply of divine provision. You are declaring through your actions that there is more than enough to meet your needs and to bless others. Giving also shifts your focus. Instead of dwelling on what you lack, it directs your attention to the abundance you already have. Whether it is your time, energy, resources, or finances, the act of giving reminds you that you are not empty-handed. Even the smallest gesture can create a ripple effect, touching lives in ways you may never fully understand. Have you ever witnessed the joy on someone's face when you offered help or kindness? That joy is a reflection of the divine, a reminder that your giving has the power to transform lives. As you cultivate a giving heart, you also cultivate gratitude. You begin to see every gift as an extension of divine abundance, and this awareness deepens your faith. Gratitude and giving are intertwined, each amplifying the other. When you give from a place of gratitude, your actions carry a special energy, one that attracts even greater blessings into your life. You are no longer a passive recipient of wealth. You become an active participant in its flow, a vessel through which abundance is multiplied. Giving also strengthens your spirit. It frees you from the grip of greed and selfishness, replacing these with compassion and empathy. When you give, you align yourself with the principle that true wealth is not measured by what you keep, but by what you share. This alignment creates a sense of inner peace and fulfillment, a richness that transcends material possessions. Have you noticed that the happiest people are often the most generous? Their joy is a testament to the power of giving. But giving is not limited to material things. It includes your time, your kindness, your encouragement, and your prayers. A kind word spoken at the right moment, a listening ear, or a simple act of service can be as valuable as gold. These non-material gifts carry a spiritual weight, often touching hearts in ways money cannot. When you give in this way, you are not just sharing your resources, you are sharing your essence, your light, and your love. As you prepare for sleep tonight, reflect on the ways you have been blessed and how you can extend those blessings to others. Perhaps there is someone in your life who could use a helping hand, a word of encouragement, or a thoughtful gesture. Commit to giving freely, not out of obligation but out of joy. Imagine the ripple effects of your generosity spreading kindness and abundance wherever you go. Visualize yourself as a channel of divine wealth with blessings flowing to you and through you. See yourself giving with an open heart and receiving with open hands, part of an endless cycle of abundance. Let this image carry you into your dreams, where you will awaken with a renewed spirit of generosity and a deeper faith in the power of giving. For as you give, so shall you receive, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Meditation is the gateway to the subconscious mind, the seat of your deepest beliefs, and the foundation of your reality. When you meditate on affirmations like "I am rich" every night, you are reprogramming your subconscious, replacing limiting beliefs with empowering truths. This nightly ritual is not just a practice, it is a spiritual act, a way of aligning your inner world with the divine frequency of abundance. The power of meditation lies in its ability to quiet the noise of the outside world. In the stillness of the night, when the distractions of the day fade away, your mind becomes a fertile ground for planting the seeds of abundance. Repeating affirmations such as "I am rich," "I am blessed," "wealth flows to me effortlessly" during meditation allows these truths to sink deeply into your subconscious. With every repetition, you are telling your mind to focus on abundance and reject the falsehoods of lack and limitation. Imagine your mind as a vast garden. Throughout your life, negative thoughts and beliefs have planted weeds of scarcity, doubt, and fear. Meditation is the act of clearing those weeds and sowing seeds of prosperity and faith. The more you nurture these seeds through nightly affirmations, the stronger their roots grow, eventually crowding out any remnants of negativity. As you meditate, it's essential to connect not just with the words but with the emotions behind them. Feel the truth of "I am rich" resonate in your spirit. Visualize the abundance you desire as if it is already yours. See yourself living in financial freedom, generously sharing your blessings, and experiencing the joy of an abundant life. Let this vision fill you with gratitude, faith, and certainty. The more vividly you imagine this reality, the more your subconscious mind accepts it as truth, and the universe aligns to bring it into existence. Breathing is a powerful tool during meditation. With each inhale, imagine drawing in divine abundance, peace, and confidence. With each exhale, release any doubts, fears, or limiting beliefs. This rhythmic exchange mirrors the flow of giving and receiving, reinforcing the idea that abundance is always circulating in your life. Consistency is key. When you meditate on affirmations nightly, you create a sacred habit that strengthens your connection to abundance. Over time, this practice becomes a natural part of your routine, and the affirmations transform from words to deeply held beliefs. You may notice subtle changes at first: a shift in your mindset, a greater sense of peace, or an increased awareness of opportunities. These are signs that your meditation is working, that the seeds of abundance are beginning to grow. It's also important to approach meditation with faith. Even if you don't see immediate results, trust that the process is unfolding perfectly. Just as a seed doesn't sprout overnight, the transformation of your subconscious mind takes time. But rest assured, every moment spent in meditation is a step closer to manifesting the life you desire. As you prepare for sleep tonight, create a quiet, comfortable space for meditation. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and begin repeating your affirmations. Speak them softly or in your mind, letting each word resonate deeply. Imagine the affirmations as rays of light, illuminating the darkest corners of your subconscious and replacing every shadow of doubt with the brilliance of faith and abundance. Feel the peace that comes with knowing you are aligning with the divine flow of wealth. Let this peace carry you into a restful sleep, where your subconscious mind will continue to work, attracting abundance and prosperity into your life. With each passing night, you will wake up feeling more aligned, more empowered, and more connected to the truth that you are rich. As you journey through the path of abundance, remember that wealth begins not in your hands but in your heart and mind. The affirmations you speak, the beliefs you nurture, and the actions you take are the building blocks of your reality. You are not separate from abundance, you are one with it. The divine has already placed within you the power to create, attract, and manifest the riches you desire. Each night, as you lay down to rest, let your spirit resonate with the truth, I am rich. These words are more than a mantra, they are a declaration of your divine inheritance, a reminder that you are destined for a life of prosperity, joy, and fulfillment. Let your affirmations guide your dreams, filling them with visions of abundance that align with the infinite possibilities waiting to unfold. Trust the process, embrace divine timing, and release the limitations that no longer serve you. Cultivate a spirit of gratitude and generosity, knowing that what you give freely, you will receive in greater measure. Visualize your abundant life with unwavering faith, and meditate on your affirmations each night, planting the seeds of prosperity deep within your subconscious. As you rest tonight, let these words echo in your heart, I am rich, I am blessed, and I am divinely supported. Feel the peace of knowing that abundance is not a distant goal, but a reality you are actively creating. Sleep with the assurance that the universe is working in your favor, orchestrating every detail to bring you closer to the life you were destined to live. May your nights be filled with dreams of abundance, your days with opportunities, and your heart with gratitude. Wealth flows to you effortlessly because you are aligned with the divine source of all riches. Rest in this truth and awaken each day with a renewed spirit, ready to receive the blessings that are already yours. Good night, and may your journey to abundance be blessed beyond measure.
Imagine, if you will, standing at the edge of a vast, quiet sea. The waves whisper gently against the shore, the horizon stretches endlessly, and the sky above is a canvas painted by the hand of the divine. But within you, there is no peace. The storm rages on, a tempest of worry, doubt, and fear. Have you ever felt that way? That no matter how calm the world appears on the surface, your heart is burdened with a weight too heavy to bear? Now, consider this. What if that storm wasn't meant to destroy you, but to guide you? What if the chaos within is not a sign of failure, but an invitation to let go? For how can a bird take flight if it clings to the ground? How can your soul rise if it refuses to release the chains of worry? The truth is, every worry you hold tight is a silent thief. It robs you of joy, drains your energy, and blinds you to the miracles unfolding all around. But there is a way out, a path that leads to freedom and peace. This path is not carved by human hands, but by the infinite power of God, who knows your struggles, sees your pain, and desires to lift you into a life of unimaginable blessings. Do you believe in miracles? Not the kind of miracles that flash like fireworks and disappear, but the quiet, steady miracles that transform your life from the inside out. If you've ever doubted their existence, let me tell you this. They are real. They are as real as the air you breathe and the heartbeat that keeps you alive. But here's the secret. They are not born out of worry. They are born out of trust. The scriptures remind us that God cares for the sparrows and clothes the lilies of the field. If he takes such tender care of the smallest creatures, how much more does he care for you? Yet how often do we forget this truth? How often do we try to control everything as if our worry could bend the will of heaven? Ask yourself this. Has worrying ever solved your problems? Has it ever brought you peace? Or has it left you weary and discouraged, like a traveler carrying an impossible load? God never intended for you to carry such burdens. His voice calls out saying, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Best, not just for your body, but for your mind and soul. This rest is not found in striving or fighting, but in surrender, in letting go, in trusting that the God who created the universe is more than able to handle your trials, no matter how insurmountable they seem. But letting go is not always easy, is it? Fear whispers in your ear, telling you that if you release your grip, everything will fall apart. It tells you that worry is your shield and doubt is your defense. Yet these are lies. Letting go is not losing control. It is placing control into the hands of the one who can do far more than you could ever imagine. Close your eyes for a moment and picture this. A father holding his child's hand as they cross a rushing stream. The child stumbles. The rocks beneath are slippery and fear begins to rise. But the father's grip is strong and steady. Do not fear, he says. I will not let you fall. That father is God, and you are his beloved child. No matter how turbulent the waters, his grip never falters. So, why do you hold on so tightly to the things you cannot control? Why do you wrestle with problems that only God can solve? Let me remind you of a profound truth. Worry is not a solution. It is a wall. It blocks your view of the blessings waiting on the other side. But when you let go, when you truly surrender, those walls crumble and miracles flow like a river. Today, I challenge you to take a bold step of faith. Release your worries. Hand them over to God and trust that he will turn them into something beautiful. You may not see the answer immediately. It may not come in the way you expect, but rest assured, it will come. And now, as we journey further into this message, I will share with you 7 profound keys to letting go of worry and opening the door to the miraculous. These principles will guide you, inspire you, and help you step into the life of peace and abundance that God has always intended for you. When life feels overwhelming and the weight of your worries presses heavily on your shoulders, it is natural to question, why now? Why me? Why hasn't this burden been lifted yet? But let me tell you something deeply profound. Everything in life happens according to God's perfect timing, not ours. Trusting in his timing is not just a passive act. It is an active declaration of faith. It is an active declaration of faith and a surrender to his divine wisdom. Take a moment to reflect on this. God is the master architect of the universe. He set the stars in their places, ordered the tides to rise and fall, and orchestrates the seasons with unerring precision. Do you think the same God who crafted the cosmos would overlook the details of your life? Absolutely not. His plans are not random, nor are they hurried. They unfold with intention at precisely the right moment to bring about your ultimate good. But here's the challenge. His timing often doesn't align with ours. We live in an age of immediacy. We expect instant results, quick answers, and rapid solutions. But God doesn't work on our schedule. His ways are higher than our ways, and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. The delay you perceive is not a denial, it's a divine preparation. God is not ignoring your prayers. Instead, he is working behind the scenes, aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities in ways you cannot yet see. Think of the story of Joseph in the Bible. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned, Joseph could have easily given up hope. From the outside, it appeared that his life was spiraling out of control. But what was God doing during those dark years? He was preparing Joseph for a greater purpose, to rise to a position of authority and save countless lives during a famine. Joseph's journey was not easy, and it was certainly not quick. But every step was necessary for God's plan to unfold. Now, let's bring this closer to your own life. Have you ever considered that the challenges you're facing may be part of your preparation? Perhaps the delay is God's way of refining you, strengthening you, and teaching you lessons that will be crucial for your future. Imagine a potter molding clay. The process involves pressure, shaping, and time in the fire. Yet it is through this process that the clay becomes a beautiful and purposeful vessel. In the same way, your life is being molded by the hands of the Creator. But trusting in God's timing requires patience, and patience is not always easy. It demands that we release our grip on the clock and stop trying to force outcomes. It means accepting that we don't have all the answers and acknowledging that we don't need to. Our role is not to understand every detail of God's plan, but to trust that He knows what He is doing. And this trust is not blind. It is rooted in the unshakable truth of His character. God is faithful. He is good. He is loving. And He is always on time. Ask yourself, how often have you rushed ahead of God, only to find yourself more stressed and anxious? Have you ever looked back and realized that the things you once begged for didn't come because they weren't right for you? Or that the blessings you did receive arrived at the perfect moment, even if it wasn't the moment you expected? These are reminders that God's timing is never wrong. Trusting in His timing also means letting go of worry. Worry often stems from the fear that God will not act or that He has forgotten us. But let me assure you, God is never late. When you trust in His timing, you release the burden of trying to control what is beyond your power. You step into a place of peace, knowing that the one who holds the universe also holds your life in His hands. Prayer is a powerful tool in this journey of trust. When you pray, you are not only sharing your concerns with God, but also aligning your heart with His will. Prayer reminds you that you are not alone, that your struggles are seen, and that your future is secure in Him. And as you wait, immerse yourself in His Word. The Bible is filled with promises that affirm His perfect timing. Meditate on these truths, and let them be your anchor when doubts arise. Remember this, the waiting period is not wasted time. It is sacred. It is a season of growth, faith building, and preparation. So instead of asking, when will this end? Start asking, what is God teaching me in this moment? Shift your perspective, and you will find that even in the waiting, there is purpose. Trust in God's timing, my friend. Let go of the need to rush and watch as His plan unfolds in ways more beautiful and miraculous than you could ever imagine. When life throws challenges your way, it's easy to focus on what's going wrong. The mind naturally drifts toward the difficulties, the pain, and the unanswered questions. But here lies a profound truth. What you focus on grows. If you fixate on your problems, they will seem larger and more overwhelming. However, if you choose to focus on gratitude, you will open the door to peace, joy, and even miracles. Gratitude is a powerful spiritual principle. It shifts your perspective and aligns your heart with God's goodness. Have you ever noticed how focusing on the negative drains your energy and clouds your judgment? Worry, fear, and complaints feed into a cycle of discouragement. But gratitude breaks that cycle. It's like flipping a switch in a dark room. The light of gratitude doesn't just reveal the blessings you already have. It also illuminates the path forward. Think about the story of the Israelites in the wilderness. Despite being freed from slavery in Egypt and witnessing countless miracles, they complained about their hardships. They focused on the lack of food and water, forgetting the God who had parted the Red Sea and provided for them every step of the way. Their ingratitude blinded them to the blessings they already possessed and delayed their journey to the Promised Land. Gratitude could have changed their story, just as it can change yours. Now, gratitude is not about ignoring your struggles or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the good even in the midst of difficulty. It's about acknowledging that while life may not be exactly how you want it, there is still much to be thankful for. Have you ever paused to consider the blessings you might be overlooking? The breath in your lungs, the strength to face another day, the people who care for you, and most importantly, the presence of a loving God who walks with you through every trial. Gratitude transforms your problems by shifting your focus. When you fix your eyes on what you have instead of what you lack, your heart begins to fill with peace. The problems may still exist, but they lose their power to dominate your thoughts. Gratitude reminds you that God has already brought you through so much, and He will bring you through this as well. It's a way of saying, Lord, I trust you. I may not have all the answers, but I thank you for being with me. One of the most practical ways to cultivate gratitude is through prayer. Begin your prayers not by listing your problems, but by thanking God for His faithfulness. Thank Him for the blessings you've already received, no matter how small they may seem. Gratitude in prayer is an act of faith. It's declaring that you trust God to provide, even before you see the answers. Another powerful practice is keeping a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're thankful for every day. They don't have to be monumental. Sometimes it's the small things that matter most. The smile of a stranger, the warmth of the sun, or the comfort of a kind word. Over time, this practice trains your mind to focus on the positive, even when life feels overwhelming. Gratitude also strengthens your relationship with God. When you thank Him, you acknowledge His sovereignty and goodness. You declare that He is in control, and you release the need to fix everything on your own. This surrender opens your heart to receive His peace, which surpasses all understanding. Consider this. Gratitude is not just for the good days. It is most powerful when practiced in the tough seasons. It's easy to be grateful when life is going well, but true gratitude shines in the storms. It says, God, I may not understand why this is happening, but I trust that you are working all things together for my good. Thank you for being my refuge and my strength. The Bible reminds us to give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. This doesn't mean you have to be thankful for the pain, but you can be thankful in the pain. Thankful that God is with you, that He is your healer, provider, and comforter. Gratitude in hardship is a testament to your faith and a declaration that you believe in God's promises. Let gratitude be your compass, guiding you through life's challenges. As you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you'll begin to see the hand of God in every situation. Problems that once seemed insurmountable will shrink in the light of His goodness. And as your heart fills with gratitude, you'll discover a profound sense of peace and joy that no circumstance can take away. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, choose to focus on what's right. Make gratitude your daily practice and watch as it transforms not only your perspective but also your circumstances. Remember, when you focus on gratitude, you're not just counting your blessings, you're paving the way for more to come. Trust in this principle and you will see the miracles unfold. Control is a seductive illusion. We often convince ourselves that if we can just manage every detail, plan for every outcome, and anticipate every challenge, life will go as we desire. But how often has this relentless pursuit of control left you exhausted and frustrated? How many times have your best laid plans fallen apart despite your efforts? The truth is, the more you try to control, the more you realize how little is truly within your grasp. Letting go of the need for control is not a sign of weakness. It is a profound act of faith. When you insist on controlling every aspect of your life, you place an enormous burden on your shoulders. You feel the weight of responsibility for outcomes that are far beyond your reach. This leads to anxiety, stress, and even despair when things don't go as planned. But here's the beautiful truth. You were never meant to carry this burden alone. God invites you to release it into His hands, where it belongs. The Bible teaches us to trust in the Lord with all our hearts and lean not on our own understanding. This is not a call to inaction, but a reminder that our understanding is limited while God's wisdom is infinite. He sees the entire picture, the past, present, and future, and knows what is best for you, even when it doesn't align with your immediate desires. Letting go of control requires surrender, and surrender is not easy. It means admitting that you don't have all the answers, and that you can't fix everything on your own. It means trusting that God's plan is better than yours, even when it's unclear. But here's the beauty of surrender. When you let go of the reins, you make room for God to work in ways you could never imagine. Consider a farmer planting seeds. He cannot control the rain, the sun, or the growth of the crop. His role is to prepare the soil, plant the seeds, and trust the process. In the same way, your role is to do what you can and leave the rest to God. You don't have to understand every step of the journey to trust that He is leading you in the right direction. Letting go of control also frees you from the burden of perfectionism. So often we strive to create a life that looks flawless on the outside, but this pursuit only deepens our insecurities and fears. When you release the need to control, you allow yourself to embrace the imperfections of life and see them as opportunities for growth. You begin to trust that even the setbacks and challenges are part of a greater plan. One of the most powerful ways to let go of control is through prayer. Prayer is not just about asking God for what you want. It's about aligning your heart with His will. It's a way of saying, Lord, I don't know what the future holds, but I trust that you do. I release my worries and plans to you, knowing that your ways are higher than mine. Prayer shifts your focus from what you can do to what God can do. And in that shift, you find peace. Another key to releasing control is living in the present moment. When you focus too much on the future, you become consumed with what might go wrong. But when you stay present, you can see God's hand at work in the here and now. You can appreciate the blessings of today without being overwhelmed by the uncertainties of tomorrow. Letting go of control is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. It requires mindfulness, prayer, and a constant reminder that you are not alone in this journey. It's about learning to trust that God is in control, not as a distant overseer, but as a loving Father who cares deeply about every detail of your life. When you release the need for control, you open yourself to the unexpected blessings and miracles that God has in store. You stop striving and start trusting. You stop worrying and start resting in His promises. And as you let go, you'll find that life becomes less about managing every outcome and more about experiencing the peace and joy that come from walking in faith. Let go of the reins. Surrender your worries, your plans, and your fears to the one who holds the universe in His hands. Trust that His timing is perfect, His ways are good, and His love for you is unchanging. When you release the need for control, you'll discover a freedom that only faith can bring. Prayer is the bridge that connects the human heart to the divine. It is a sacred conversation with God, a moment of vulnerability where you lay down your burdens and open your soul to His presence. If you truly want to let go of worry and witness miracles unfold, prayer is not optional. It is essential. When life feels heavy and the road ahead is unclear, prayer is your refuge. It is where you find peace that surpasses understanding and strength that sustains you through the darkest moments. But prayer is more than a ritual or a recitation of words. It is a relationship. It's not about saying the right things. It's about bringing your authentic self before God, trusting that He hears you, understands you, and loves you unconditionally. Through prayer, you release the weight of your worries and transfer them to God. The Bible tells us to cast all our anxieties on Him because He cares for us. Think about that for a moment. The Creator of the universe invites you to place your burdens at His feet. He doesn't want you to carry them alone. Prayer is an act of trust, a declaration that you believe in His power to handle what you cannot. Prayer also aligns your heart with God's will. So often, we approach prayer with a list of requests, hoping God will fulfill our desires. But true prayer goes deeper. It is about seeking God's guidance, wisdom, and peace. It is about surrendering your plans and saying, Lord, not my will, but yours be done. This act of surrender opens the door for God to work in ways that exceed your expectations. In times of worry, prayer has the power to transform your perspective. It shifts your focus from the problem to the one who holds the solution. When you spend time in prayer, you begin to see your challenges through the lens of faith rather than fear. You are reminded of God's promises and his faithfulness, which strengthens your confidence and calms your spirit. To immerse yourself in prayer is to make it a daily habit, not just a response to crisis. Begin each day by inviting God into your plans. Speak to him as you would to a trusted friend, sharing your hopes, fears, and dreams. Throughout the day, maintain an attitude of prayer, whispering short praises or seeking his wisdom in moments of decision. And at night, end your day by reflecting on his goodness and thanking him for his presence. Prayer is not only about speaking, it's also about listening. Take time to sit in silence and allow God to speak to your heart. You may not hear an audible voice, but through the stillness, he often reveals his guidance, comfort, and assurance. The more you immerse yourself in prayer, the more you'll recognize his voice in your life. Through prayer, you also invite the Holy Spirit to work within you. The Spirit intercedes on your behalf, even when you don't know what to pray for. He strengthens you, comforts you, and empowers you to face life's challenges with courage and faith. Prayer is the channel through which the Spirit moves, bringing peace to your heart and clarity to your mind. Prayer is the lifeline that keeps you connected to God's power. It reminds you that you are never alone, no matter how overwhelming life may feel. So immerse yourself in prayer and let it be your anchor in the storms of life. When you make prayer a priority, you will see how it transforms your heart, your mind, and your circumstances. You will witness miracles, not because of what you have done, but because of what God is doing through you. Let prayer be the foundation of your faith, the source of your strength, and the key to unlocking the peace and joy that only God can provide. Fear is a silent thief. It creeps into your heart, clouds your mind, and robs you of peace and joy. It convinces you to doubt God's promises and keeps you trapped in a cycle of worry and hesitation. But fear is not from God. It is a tool of the enemy, designed to weaken your faith and distract you from the truth. To release fear, you must confront it with unwavering faith, a faith that trusts in God's power to protect, guide, and provide. Fear often begins as a small whisper. What if you fail? What if things don't work out? What if you're not good enough? Left unchecked, these whispers grow louder, taking root in your thoughts and influencing your actions. But here's the truth. Fear only has as much power as you give it. When you allow fear to control your decisions, you surrender to its grip. But when you confront fear with faith, it loses its hold over you. Faith and fear cannot coexist. One will always dominate the other. The Bible tells us, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Fear is not your inheritance as a child of God. Your inheritance is courage, strength, and a peace that comes from trusting in his promises. To release fear, you must anchor yourself in this truth and remind yourself of God's faithfulness. Think about the story of Peter walking on water. When Peter stepped out of the boat, his faith was strong. He trusted in Jesus and focused on him, walking boldly on the waves. But the moment Peter shifted his focus to the wind and the waves, fear crept in. He began to sink, crying out for help. What does this teach us? Fear thrives when we take our eyes off God and focus on the circumstances around us. But when we fix our gaze on him, fear loses its power, and faith enables us to do the impossible. Releasing fear through faith is not about denying your emotions or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about acknowledging the fear, but choosing to trust in God's sovereignty instead. It's about saying, yes, the storm is real, but my God is greater. This mindset doesn't come naturally. It requires intentional practice and a deep reliance on God's word. Faith is strengthened through the promises of Scripture. The Bible is filled with assurances of God's protection, provision, and presence. Do not fear, for I am with you, he says. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Meditate on these promises daily. Let them fill your mind and heart, replacing fear with confidence in God's ability to handle whatever you face. Prayer is another powerful tool for releasing fear. When fear threatens to overwhelm you, take it to God in prayer. Be honest about your worries and ask for His peace to guard your heart and mind. Prayer shifts your focus from the problem to the one who holds the solution. It reminds you that you are not alone and that God is actively working on your behalf. Another key to releasing fear is to reflect on past victories. How many times has God come through for you in the past? How many prayers has He answered? Doors has He opened? And battles has He fought on your behalf? Fear wants you to forget these moments, but faith calls you to remember. Each victory is a testament to God's faithfulness and a reminder that He will not abandon you now. Surrounding yourself with faithful people is also crucial. Fear often grows in isolation, but in the presence of others who believe in God's promises, your faith is strengthened. Share your struggles with trusted friends or mentors who can pray with you and encourage you. Their support can help you see beyond your fears and remind you of the power of faith. Releasing fear through faith also requires action. Fear often paralyzes, keeping you from stepping out in obedience to God's call. But faith calls you to move forward, even when the outcome is uncertain. Take that first step, trusting that God will guide your path. Just as He parted the Red Sea for the Israelites, He will make a way for you, even when it seems impossible. Finally, understand that releasing fear is a journey, not a one-time event. Fear may try to creep back into your life, but each time it does, you have the choice to confront it with faith. The more you practice releasing fear, the stronger your faith will become. You will begin to see fear for what it truly is, an empty threat that pales in comparison to the power of God. So today, let go of the fear that has been holding you back. Trust in God's promises and His unchanging love for you. Stand firm in faith, knowing that He is with you every step of the way. As you release fear and embrace faith, you will experience a freedom and peace that cannot be shaken. You will walk boldly into the future, confident in the knowledge that God is in control and His plans for you are good. The environment you create around yourself has a profound impact on your mindset, emotions, and faith. When you are surrounded by negativity, critical voices, toxic relationships, or constant reminders of what's wrong in the world, it becomes incredibly challenging to maintain peace and trust in God. On the other hand, when you immerse yourself in positivity, you create a fertile ground for faith to grow, worry to fade, and miracles to unfold. Have you ever noticed how the people you spend time with influence your thoughts and emotions? Negativity is contagious. A single pessimistic comment can spiral into hours of doubt and fear. But here's the good news. Positivity is equally contagious. The right words, attitudes, and influences can uplift your spirit, strengthen your faith, and help you focus on God's promises rather than your problems. Surrounding yourself with positivity begins with the people in your life. Are the individuals closest to you encouraging or discouraging? Do they speak words of faith or words of fear? If your circle is filled with negativity, it may be time to re-evaluate your relationships. This doesn't mean cutting everyone out of your life, but it does mean prioritizing connections that uplift and inspire you. Seek out those who remind you of God's goodness, who pray with you in difficult times, and who celebrate your victories with genuine joy. The Bible emphasizes the importance of community and positive influences. Proverbs 27:17 says, As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who share your faith and values will sharpen your perspective and strengthen your resolve. These people will hold you accountable, encourage you when you feel weak, and remind you of God's promises when doubt creeps in. But positivity isn't just about people, it's also about the media and messages you consume. What are you feeding your mind? Are you constantly scrolling through social media, comparing your life to others and feeling inadequate? Are you watching or reading content that fills you with fear and anxiety? If so, it's time to make a change. Choose to fill your mind with uplifting, faith-building content. Listen to sermons, motivational speeches, or worship music that remind you of God's power and love. Read books or articles that inspire hope and encourage growth. Your physical environment also plays a role in creating positivity. A cluttered, chaotic space can reflect and amplify a cluttered, chaotic mind. Take the time to create a peaceful, organized environment that fosters calm and focus. Add elements that inspire you, such as Bible verses, motivational quotes, or symbols of God's faithfulness. Let your surroundings be a sanctuary where your faith can flourish and your worries can diminish. Gratitude is another powerful way to cultivate positivity. When you make a habit of focusing on what you're thankful for, you shift your perspective from lack to abundance. Start each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. They can be small or significant, anything from a kind word from a friend to the beauty of the sunrise. Gratitude rewires your mind to see the good in every situation, even amidst challenges. Prayer is a cornerstone of surrounding yourself with positivity. When you pray, you invite God's presence into your life, and His presence brings peace, joy, and strength. Prayer is not just a time to ask for what you need, it's also a time to praise God for who He is and what He has done. Praise shifts your focus from your problems to His greatness, filling your heart with positivity and faith. Another key aspect of surrounding yourself with positivity is guarding your words. What you speak has the power to shape your reality. Negative words can reinforce fear and doubt, while positive, faithful words can build confidence and hope. Speak life over yourself and others. Declare God's promises out loud. Say, I am blessed, I am loved. God is with me and He is working all things for my good. As you speak these truths, you will feel your faith grow and your worries fade. Positivity is also about the actions you take. Engage in activities that bring you joy and remind you of God's blessings. Spend time in nature where you can witness His handiwork and feel His peace. Volunteer or help someone in need, which shifts your focus from your own worries to the joy of serving others. Take care of your physical health, as a healthy body supports a positive mind and spirit. Finally, remember that positivity is a choice. You cannot always control what happens around you, but you can control how you respond. Choose to focus on what is good, true, and uplifting. Philippians 4:8 encourages us, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. This mindset will guard your heart and mind against negativity and help you stay anchored in God's peace. Surrounding yourself with positivity doesn't mean ignoring life's challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on God's goodness even when life is hard. It means seeking out influences that strengthen your faith and lift your spirit. And most importantly, it means trusting that as you create an environment of positivity, God will work miracles in your life. Let positivity be the foundation upon which your faith grows, your worries dissolve, and your blessings multiply. Miracles are not just relics of the past. They are living reminders of God's power, love, and faithfulness. Yet so often we doubt their possibility in our own lives. We hear stories of miraculous healings, breakthroughs, and transformations, but struggle to believe that the same God who worked wonders then is ready to work wonders now. But believing in the promise of miracles is not about wishful thinking. It's about having faith in the limitless power of God to intervene in ways that defy human understanding. Miracles begin with belief. Jesus often said to those he healed, "Your faith has made you well." Faith is the key that unlocks the door to God's supernatural intervention. But what does it mean to truly believe? It means trusting that God is not limited by the natural laws that govern the world. It means knowing in your heart that he can bring solutions out of nowhere, provide when resources seem scarce, and make a way when all paths seem blocked. Have you ever wondered why God works miracles? It's not to impress or to prove himself. He has no need for that. Miracles are acts of love, expressions of his deep care for his children, and confirmations of his presence in our lives. They remind us that we are not alone, that God sees us, hears us, and acts on our behalf. When you believe in the promise of miracles, you are acknowledging God's sovereignty and inviting him to move powerfully in your life. Believing in miracles also requires patience. Sometimes the miracle doesn't come immediately. Sometimes it doesn't come in the way we expect. This is where faith becomes essential. Faith says, I trust that God is working even when I can't see it. It's about holding on to his promises and knowing that his timing is perfect. The waiting period is not a sign of God's absence. It's often the time when he is preparing something greater than you can imagine. To believe in miracles, you must also align your heart with God's will. Prayer is a vital part of this process. When you pray for a miracle, you are not demanding that God act according to your desires. You are surrendering your situation to him and trusting that he will do what is best. Through prayer, you strengthen your faith, quiet your doubts, and open your heart to receive the miracle God has prepared for you. Gratitude plays a significant role in fostering belief in miracles. When you focus on the blessings you've already received, you build a foundation of faith for the miracles yet to come. Reflect on how God has provided for you in the past, and let those memories fuel your trust in his ability to act again. Gratitude turns your attention away from worry and toward hope, creating an atmosphere where miracles can thrive. Lastly, believing in miracles requires boldness. It's daring to hope when others have given up. It's choosing faith over fear, trust over doubt, and courage over despair. As you believe, you begin to see God's hand in every aspect of your life. You'll recognize the small miracles that lead to the larger ones, and your faith will grow stronger with each step. Remember, miracles are not just about dramatic changes. They're about transformation, provision, and restoration. When you believe in God's promise of miracles, you open the door for his power to work in ways beyond your imagination. Trust in him, believe in his promises, and watch as his miracles unfold in your life. As we come to the end of this journey together, let these words echo in your heart. God is in control, and he is working in your favor. No matter how heavy your burdens may feel, no matter how dark the road may seem, you are not walking it alone. The same God who parted the seas, healed the sick, and brought light into the world is with you now, ready to bring peace to your storms and miracles into your life. You are not called to carry your worries alone. You are called to trust in God's perfect timing, to focus on his blessings, and to let go of the need to control every outcome. Through prayer, gratitude, and faith, you have the tools to release your fears and embrace his peace. Surround yourself with positivity. Lean on his promises, and never stop believing in the miraculous power of his love. Remember, letting go is not giving up, it is letting God take over. When you release your worries into his hands, you create space for him to work wonders in ways you cannot yet imagine. Trust that his plans are higher than your own. His love is deeper than your understanding, and his miracles are closer than you think. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that everything you've ever dreamed of is within your reach. The life you want, the success you crave, the love you long for. It's not as distant as you might think. In fact, it's closer than you can imagine. The reason you don't yet have it isn't because you're incapable or unworthy. It's because no one ever shared these truths with you. Today, we'll uncover 7 hidden secrets about manifesting your desires, secrets that, once understood, will unlock the life you've always known deep down was possible. These aren't just ideas. They're principles that can change your world if you let them. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the life you're living is not determined by luck, chance, or circumstances beyond your control. Instead, it's a direct reflection of your inner world, your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. This is not just a comforting idea. It's a profound truth that holds the key to transforming your reality. Have you ever noticed how some days seem to flow effortlessly, as if the universe is conspiring in your favor? You bump into old friends, opportunities come knocking, and even the smallest details of your day feel perfectly aligned. Then there are other days when nothing seems to go right. Every traffic light is red, every interaction feels strained, and obstacles seem to appear out of nowhere. The difference between these two experiences is not the external world, it's your inner state. Life is a mirror, reflecting back to you the energy you project. If you're filled with frustration, doubt, or fear, the world around you will echo those feelings. Situations will arise that confirm your inner turmoil, reinforcing the belief that life is hard or unfair. On the other hand, when you cultivate feelings of gratitude, joy, and confidence, life begins to mirror those emotions. Doors open where there were once walls, and you begin to see evidence of the possibilities you've always hoped for. Consider the times in your life when you felt truly at peace, even in the face of challenges. During those moments, didn't it seem as though solutions appeared effortlessly? This is because the energy you carry shapes the experiences you attract. The external world is not random. It is meticulously responding to the vibration you emit. The sooner you understand this, the sooner you can take control of the life you are creating. It may sound simple, but shifting your inner state requires intentionality. For most of us, the default setting is shaped by old beliefs and past experiences. Perhaps you've been told you're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. Over time, these ideas sink into the subconscious mind and begin to dictate your thoughts and emotions, even without your awareness. The result? A life that feels stuck in patterns of limitation. But what if you could rewrite the script? What if instead of being a prisoner of old beliefs, you could step into the role of the creator? It starts with becoming aware of the stories you're telling yourself. Are they stories of lack, struggle, and fear? Or are they stories of abundance, possibility, and courage? Take a moment to reflect on how you react to the world around you. When challenges arise, do you immediately assume the worst? Do you let fear take over? If so, understand that these reactions are shaping the reality you see. The world is simply reflecting back the energy you've been carrying within. The beauty of this truth is that you have the power to change it. You don't need to wait for circumstances to shift. You can start right now by changing the way you feel about yourself and your life. Imagine the person you want to become, the version of you who feels confident, capable, and fulfilled. How would that person think? How would they carry themselves? What emotions would they wake up with each day? When you begin to embody those feelings, even before your external circumstances have changed, the world will start to shift around you. Opportunities will arise, relationships will improve, and life will feel as though it's working with you rather than against you. This isn't wishful thinking. It's the natural result of aligning your inner state with the reality you want to create. Your life is not happening to you, it's happening through you. If you want to see a different reflection in the mirror, don't try to change the mirror. Change yourself. Adjust your thoughts. Nurture emotions that align with your desires, and trust that the world will respond in kind. The transformation begins the moment you decide to take responsibility for your inner world. Everything else will follow. Close your eyes for a moment and think about the life you truly desire. Not just the material possessions or the achievements, but the feeling of living that life. What does it feel like to wake up in the morning knowing you're exactly where you're meant to be? Imagine the joy, the excitement, the peace that comes with knowing your dreams have become your reality. That feeling is the key. It's not just a fleeting emotion, it's the foundation of creation itself. The truth is, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you feel. Wanting something keeps it at a distance. It's as if you're saying, this isn't mine yet, and the energy of that lack is reflected back to you. But when you allow yourself to feel as though your desire is already yours, you shift into a state of alignment. You're no longer chasing your dream, you're living it internally. And that changes everything. Think about the moments in your life when something wonderful seemed to come out of nowhere. Maybe it was a phone call that brought unexpected good news, a serendipitous meeting, or a sudden opportunity you weren't expecting. If you reflect on those moments, you'll likely realize that they happened during times when you felt light, open, and positive. This isn't a coincidence. Feeling good aligns you with experiences that reflect that energy. Your feelings are like signals you send out into the world. If you're broadcasting frustration, fear, or doubt, the experiences that come back to you will match that frequency. But if you're radiating joy, gratitude, and certainty, the world will respond in kind. This isn't just about positive thinking, it's about embodying the emotional state of having already received what you desire. When you do that, you're no longer in a state of lack, you're in a state of fulfillment. And many people fall into the trap of waiting for external circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel good. They think, once I have the job, the relationship, or the money, then I'll be happy. But this approach keeps them stuck because their feelings of happiness are conditional. The secret is to reverse this process. Instead of waiting for the external world to give you permission to feel joy, choose to feel it now. Let that feeling lead the way, and the external world will follow. Imagine holding a desire in your heart and feeling it as though it's already yours. Picture yourself living that reality. How do you feel? How do you carry yourself? What do your days look like? Dive into those feelings as deeply as you can. The more vividly you can imagine and feel this reality, the more you impress it upon your subconscious mind. And once it's impressed there, it begins to unfold in your life effortlessly. This isn't about pretending or denying your current reality. It's about choosing to focus on what you want rather than what you lack. It's about understanding that your feelings are powerful creators, and that by nurturing the right emotions, you're laying the groundwork for the life you want to experience. Think of your feelings as a magnet, drawing experiences, people, and opportunities that match their frequency. Even in the midst of challenges, you have the power to choose how you feel. It might not always be easy, but it's always possible. Start small. Find things in your current life that you're genuinely grateful for and let that gratitude grow. Use your imagination to create vivid scenes of the life you desire and let yourself feel the joy and fulfillment of living that life. These feelings are not just daydreams. They're the building blocks of your future reality. Every time you choose to feel as though your dream is already yours, you're sending a message to the universe. You're declaring that this is who you are and that this is a life you're ready to experience. And the universe, without fail, will respond to that message. The feeling is not just the key. It's the entire doorway to the life you've been waiting for. Imagine for a moment that your mind is not limited by the physical world around you. Within your imagination exists an infinite realm where anything is possible. It's a place where limitations vanish, where you can shape and mold your desires into vivid experiences before they ever materialize in the physical world. This is the power of imagination, and it's far more than mere daydreaming. It's the creative force behind every reality you've ever known. Your imagination is the blueprint of your life. Everything you've experienced up to this point has first existed in your mind. Think of the inventions that have changed the course of history. A towering skyscraper, a revolutionary piece of technology, or a timeless work of art. Before any of these things became real, someone dared to imagine them first. That act of creation didn't begin with tools or resources. It began with a vision in the mind. But here's the truth that most people miss. You don't need to be an artist, an inventor, or a visionary to harness this power. Your imagination is at work constantly, whether you realize it or not. The question is not whether you're using it, but how you're using it. Are you envisioning the life you desire, or are you replaying fears, doubts, and limitations? When you imagine something vividly, your mind doesn't distinguish between the imagined and the real. Close your eyes and picture yourself holding a lemon. Imagine its weight in your hand, the texture of the peel, the sharp scent as you slice it open. Now imagine taking a bite. Can you feel the sour taste, the way your mouth instinctively reacts? Your body responds as though the experience is real because to your subconscious mind it is. This is why your imagination is so powerful. It's not just a mental exercise. It's a direct line of communication with the part of you that shapes your reality. When you use your imagination to create scenes of your desired life, you're impressing those images upon your subconscious mind. And once they're imprinted there, they begin to manifest outwardly in ways that may seem like coincidence, but are in truth the natural unfolding of the reality you've envisioned. To harness this power, you must become deliberate in your use of imagination. Instead of allowing your mind to dwell on worries or replay the past, direct it toward the future you want to create. Picture yourself living that life in detail. What do you see when you wake up in the morning? What sounds fill your day? Who surrounds you? How does it feel to know you're living the life you've always dreamed of? Engage all your senses in this practice, making the imagined scene as vivid and real as possible. The more you immerse yourself in this imagined reality, the more it begins to feel natural. And this is the key. Your imagination must move beyond mere fantasy and into a state where it feels real to you. When that happens, you've planted the seed for manifestation. Your imagination is not constrained by time, space, or logic. It doesn't ask whether something is possible. It simply accepts what you feed it as truth. This is why it's essential to guard your thoughts and use your imagination intentionally. If you fill it with doubts, fears, and limitations, those will shape your reality just as effectively as your dreams. But when you train yourself to focus on the life you want, when you use your imagination to create scenes of joy, abundance, and fulfillment, you activate the creative power within you. It's as though you're writing the script for a play, and the universe is the stage upon which that play unfolds. There's no need to wait for proof in the physical world before you dare to imagine. The proof will come, but only after you've given yourself permission to dream boldly and vividly. Imagination is not an escape from reality. It's the tool you've been given to shape it. Use it wisely, and there's no limit to what you can create. Think for a moment about the quiet, subtle power of belief. It's invisible, intangible, and yet it governs the very fabric of your reality. Your beliefs, whether you're aware of them or not, shape the way you see the world, the choices you make, and the outcomes you experience. They act as the foundation upon which your entire life is built. And here lies a profound truth. What you believe to be true will become your reality. Consider how beliefs begin. Most of them are not even yours. They are passed down from parents, teachers, and society. As children, we absorb the world around us without questioning it. If you were told, money is hard to come by, love is rare, or life is a struggle, those words likely settle deep into your subconscious mind, becoming the framework through which you view the world. But here's the revelation. Beliefs are not fixed. They are not unchangeable truths. They are stories you have accepted, and stories can be rewritten. If you're willing to challenge the beliefs that no longer serve you, you can begin to shift your entire reality. Think about this in practical terms. Imagine someone who believes they're unlucky. They go through life expecting things to go wrong, and sure enough, they often do. But is it really bad luck, or is it the belief itself creating the pattern? When you believe you're unlucky, you subconsciously act in ways that reinforce that belief. You hesitate to take risks. You overlook opportunities, and you focus on every setback as evidence of your misfortune. Now imagine shifting that belief. Imagine waking up and deciding, I'm incredibly fortunate. Good things happen to me all the time. At first it might feel strange, even untrue. But as you begin to nurture this new belief, you'll notice subtle changes. You'll start seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You'll take actions with more confidence, and the world will begin to respond differently. This is not magic. It's the natural consequence of aligning your inner belief system with the reality you want to experience. Your subconscious mind is like fertile soil, and your beliefs are the seeds you plant. Whatever you plant, whether it's a belief in abundance, love, and success, or one of scarcity, fear, and failure, will grow. The subconscious does not question the seeds. It simply nurtures them and brings them to life. To change your beliefs, you must first become aware of them. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind on autopilot. Are they supportive of the life you want to create, or do they limit you? If you catch yourself thinking, I'll never be able to do this, or that's just not possible for me, pause and question it. Is that thought serving you, or is it holding you back? Once you have identified a limiting belief, replace it with one that aligns with your desired reality. For example, if you've always believed, I'm not good enough, begin affirming, I am more than enough. I am capable of achieving anything I desire. At first, this new belief may feel unnatural. That's because your subconscious mind has been conditioned to the old one. But with repetition and persistence, the new belief will take root. Visualization can be a powerful tool in this process. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living from this new belief. If you're affirming abundance, see yourself surrounded by the evidence of that abundance. Picture the people, places, and experiences that reflect your new reality. The more vividly you can imagine it, the more deeply your subconscious mind will accept it. Your beliefs are the filter through which you experience life. When you change the filter, the world changes with it. The beauty of this truth is that it places the power squarely in your hands. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the creator of your experience. By examining your beliefs and consciously choosing ones that support your dreams, you can rewrite the story of your life. This is not a one-time process. It's a practice, a commitment to shaping your inner world so that it aligns with the outer world you wish to create. As you do this, you'll notice that life begins to reflect your new beliefs in ways that feel effortless and natural. The world will mirror back the truth you've chosen to embrace, and you'll realize that the power to shape your reality was within you all along. Imagine for a moment that you have a secret power, one that flows from deep within you and extends far beyond what you can see, hear, or touch. This power is not bound by time or space. It is the power of focus. Wherever you direct your attention, energy follows, and the more energy you pour into something, the more it grows. Focus is a force that shapes your reality in ways that are both subtle and profound. Think about a time in your life when you were completely immersed in a project, a relationship, or a goal. Perhaps you were working on a personal achievement or trying to create something meaningful. When you focused all your energy and attention on it, the experience felt effortless, didn't it? Ideas flowed freely. You felt aligned, and the world seemed to support you. This is the power of focus at work. On the other hand, when you spread your attention too thin, when your mind is bouncing from one thought to another, never truly focus on any one thing, you end up feeling scattered and disconnected. The energy you put out becomes weak, diluted, and unfocused, making it harder for anything meaningful to manifest. This is why so many people feel stuck or overwhelmed. They are constantly dividing their attention between too many things, and as a result, nothing ever gains enough momentum to materialize in their lives. Focus has the ability to cut through the noise and create clarity. When you focus on your goals with unwavering attention, you begin to see the path ahead with more clarity. You start to recognize opportunities that were once hidden, and you develop the creativity and resourcefulness to move past obstacles. Your focus sharpens your vision, allowing you to see the reality you're creating with greater precision. Here's the key. Your focus must be intentional. It's not enough to simply want something. Your desire must be paired with focused attention, aligned with purpose. Without focus, your dreams remain distant and intangible, lost in a sea of distractions. But when you channel your energy toward a single purpose, you turn that desire into something real. Think about the power of a magnifying glass. On its own, the lens doesn't do much, but when you focus sunlight through it, it can start a fire. The same principle applies to your life. Your thoughts are like that sunlight. They have potential, but without the focus to concentrate them, they dissipate. When you focus your thoughts, emotions, and actions on your desires, you create the spark that can ignite your dreams. However, focus is not simply about concentrating on what you want. It's also about tuning out what you don't want. The mind has an incredible tendency to wander, to become distracted by fears, doubts, and past experiences. But these distractions only dilute the energy you're sending out into the world. Each time you catch yourself dwelling on negativity, shift your focus back to the positive, back to the vision of the life you want to create. And this is the practice of redirecting your energy, of training yourself to always return to what serves your highest good. It's also important to remember that focus requires consistency. It's not enough to think about your goal for a few moments and then move on. Focus is a muscle that must be exercised daily. The more consistently you bring your attention to your dreams, the more powerful the energy behind them becomes. When you focus on a single desire with unwavering attention, the universe aligns with that focus. Opportunities will appear. Synchronicities will unfold and doors will open where there once seemed to be walls. This is not magic. This is the natural law of attention. The energy you pour into something with focus is the energy that it will eventually manifest in your reality. Focus allows you to step into a state of flow where your desires move from the abstract into the tangible. It allows you to stop living on the surface of life, distracted by every passing thought or moment, and instead dive deep into the creation of your reality. When you direct your focus, you direct your life. Where your attention goes, energy follows. And with consistent, focused energy, anything you desire can and will materialize in your world. Consider for a moment the power of your words. They are not just sounds or mere forms of communication. They are potent forces that shape your life, your world, and everything in it. Words have the ability to uplift, heal, and inspire, but they can also tear down, limit, and create barriers. The language you use, both the words you speak out loud and the ones you think to yourself, holds the ability to mold your reality in profound ways. What you speak, you create. Think about the conversations you have with yourself throughout the day. How often do you tell yourself that you're not good enough, or that things are difficult, or that life is unfair? These thoughts, repeated over and over, become your beliefs, and eventually they become your reality. Your subconscious mind takes these verbal cues as instructions, and it sets about creating experiences that align with those words. But the reverse is also true. When you speak words of encouragement, hope, and positivity, you begin to shift your energy, your beliefs, and the experiences that show up in your life. Words are the first seeds of creation. They are the blueprint that directs the forces of your mind and the universe. Just as an architect's design will eventually turn into a building, your words shape the world that you experience. Think about a time when you spoke something into existence. Maybe you casually mentioned a goal or a desire to a friend, and then as if by magic, opportunities began to appear. Or perhaps you declared, "I'm going to have a great day," and suddenly everything fell into place. Your words, whether spoken aloud or silently, are not just reflections of your thoughts. They are directives to the universe. The key here is to understand that every word carries a vibration, a frequency. Words that reflect negativity or lack create a resonance that attracts more of the same. But words of gratitude, empowerment, and possibility create a resonance that attracts opportunities, solutions, and abundance. Your words are a form of energy, and energy moves according to the frequency you set. Consider the simple act of affirming something positive about yourself. It could be something as straightforward as, "I am worthy of success," or "I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to." When you speak these words with belief, your subconscious mind starts to align with them. It begins to filter your reality through the lens of those affirmations, guiding you to take actions that match your declarations. Soon you begin to see evidence of your worthiness, of your capability, and your life starts to shift. This is why it's essential to pay attention to the words you speak, both to others and to yourself. How often do you speak in ways that reinforce what you don't want? "I can't afford that. I'll never be successful. I always mess things up." Each of these phrases sends a signal to your subconscious mind, shaping your experience accordingly. If you truly want to transform your life, you must begin by transforming your language. Your words are powerful tools of creation, and when you use them intentionally, you begin to take control of your reality. It's not just about saying things that sound positive on the surface. It's about speaking with conviction, with belief, and with the understanding that your words carry weight. Even when you're facing challenges, use your words to affirm your strength, your resilience, and your ability to overcome. Instead of saying, this is too hard, replace it with, I'm finding solutions to every challenge that comes my way. The more you speak in alignment with your desired reality, the more your actions, thoughts, and circumstances will begin to align with that reality as well. Remember, your words are not only a reflection of your current state, they are also a forecast of your future. Every word you speak is like a pebble thrown into the water, creating ripples that will ultimately shape your future. The more consciously you choose your words, the more you consciously direct the flow of your life. Start today by becoming mindful of the language you use. Speak with intention. Speak as if you already have what you desire. Use your words to affirm your worth, your success, and your abundance. When you speak in alignment with the life you want to create, you set the wheels of manifestation in motion. Your words are not just tools of communication. They are tools of creation. And the life you've always dreamed of is waiting to take shape with every word you speak. Have you ever considered the idea that you are not bound by your current circumstances, that the conditions of your life, whether they are challenging or ordinary, are not fixed? You are not defined by the situations you face, the obstacles you've encountered, or even by the identity you've carried up until now. The power of your mind, your ability to change your perspective and actions, lies in the realization that you have the power to create a new reality from where you are right now. Many people think that change comes only after a major external event, when they get that job, make more money, or find a relationship. But in truth, change begins within you. And it begins with your decision to shift your perception. When you choose to see things differently, everything changes. The key is to understand that your external reality is simply a reflection of your inner beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. As you change the way you see the world begins to reflect that shift. Back to you. The idea of shifting your perception can be subtle, but it's transformative. Imagine for a moment that you are walking through a forest and the trees are thick with leaves. From one angle, the forest may seem dark and impenetrable, but if you change your position, if you shift your angle of vision, suddenly the sunlight filters through the trees, revealing a beautiful path. The forest hasn't changed. What's changed is your ability to see it differently. This is how you can approach every area of your life. If you're facing a challenge, instead of seeing it as something negative or insurmountable, try shifting your perception. See it as an opportunity for growth, a lesson that's unfolding to strengthen you. Life is constantly unfolding, and your interpretation of events directly influences how those events will affect you. One of the most powerful ways to shift your perception is to shift your focus. When you focus on what's not working or what's missing, you naturally feel a sense of lack. You may become frustrated or defeated. But when you focus on what is working, on the small victories, the things you are grateful for, you immediately shift into a space of abundance. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending that everything is perfect when it isn't. It means choosing to see the positive aspects of any situation, no matter how challenging it may seem at first. When you focus on what you can control, on the opportunities within the struggle, you align yourself with a mindset of possibility. The universe responds to this shift by bringing you more of what you focus on. The key to shifting your perception is recognizing that you are not a passive observer in your life. You are the creator. Every moment, every thought, every belief is an active choice you make. And with each choice, you are shaping the reality you experience. It's not about waiting for the world to change. It's about deciding right now that you will see the world differently. When you choose to see yourself as capable, deserving, and powerful, the universe aligns to reflect that truth back to you. When you start viewing your life through this new lens, it becomes easier to recognize the opportunities around you. You will begin to see paths forward that were invisible before. You will notice the ways in which you've been limiting yourself by holding on to old beliefs and stories that no longer serve you. And most importantly, you'll realize that your circumstances do not define you. Your mindset, your ability to change your perception, and your willingness to take action are what determine your experience of life. The power to change your reality lies within you. And it begins with your perception. The moment you decide to see the world through the eyes of possibility, you unlock the door to infinite potential. This shift in perception doesn't just alter your thoughts, it transforms your entire life. The conditions of your life are malleable, and you have the power to mold them with every new belief, thought, and perspective you choose to adopt. So begin today. Choose to shift your perception. When you encounter challenges, look for the opportunities. When you experience setbacks, look for the lessons. When you face doubts, look for the truth of your capabilities. As you practice shifting your perception, you will begin to see your life shift in ways that will surprise and amaze you. The world, after all, is not fixed. It is a reflection of how you choose to see it. And as you change your perspective, you will begin to change your world. As you stand on the threshold of a new reality, remember that the power to transform your life is not out there somewhere. It's within you, in every thought, every word, and every belief you choose to embrace. The world around you is a mirror, reflecting back what you have chosen to believe, feel, and focus on. And if you've learned one thing from this journey, it's that you have the ability to change the reflection at any moment. Your life is not predetermined. It is shaped by the choices you make in every moment. And every choice starts with your mindset. The secrets shared here, whether about the power of your inner world, the energy you send out, or the words you speak, are not just ideas to ponder. They are tools you can use right now to begin crafting the reality you desire. Don't wait for the world to change before you act. You have the power to change your world, starting with how you see yourself and your circumstances. Shift your beliefs, focus your energy, and speak your truth with intention, and you will begin to witness the transformation you've always hoped for. The path ahead is yours to create. Embrace the power you hold in your hands, and know that with every thought, every word, and every action, you are shaping your future. Your reality is waiting to meet you at the level of your belief. So step forward with confidence, trust in your inner power, and know that the life you envision is already on its way.